Hey everyone, thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to be looking at more momentum shifts in Bitcoin. So if you guys like this content, please subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on by clicking the bell button next to the subscribe button. And let's go ahead and jump in. So, one of the things we've talked about before, and the reason why I'm talking about this now is because I got a comment recently that said, "How do we know when we're in the bull market?" Now, history has a way of elucidating the truth, and hindsight's 2020, so it's hard to know exactly when the bull market stops and starts. But in general, looking at the 20-week moving average, as we've often said, is a good sign of knowing when the bull market starts. And more importantly, we look at the transition from holding the 100-week moving average as support to holding the 20-week moving average as support. Now, you can see that during that bull market, the 20-week has held a support. Once we were in 2019, we got above the 20-week and we went off to the races and we came back down. And during this time, I don't often draw lines, but this is just showing you that we were seeing lower highs. A lot of people thought we were going to come down and then shoot off, or at least hold support on the 20-week, and then keep moving up. Well, it turns out we did not hold support. We dropped down to the 100-week, and similarly, back in 2015, the first time we crossed that 20-week moving average, we also did not hold it as support, and once we broke it, we came straight down to the 200-week moving average. Because actually at the time, we were actually above the 100-week when that happened. So kind of a different story over here because currently the 20-week is already above the 100-week. So the exact format of price with respect to these moving averages is different, and it's most notably different because of this pretty nice run up we saw in 2019. But again, you can see a similarity that we went above the 20-week, failed to hold it as support, found support on the 200-week, and then went up to the 100-week. And it was this holding support on the 100-week and transitioning to support on the 20-week is where the bull market, I would say, really got into full swing. Now, in the current market, we held support on the 200-week, popped above the 20, came down to the 20, broke it, did not hold it as support, but we found support on the 100-week. Again, over here, we couldn't find support on the 100-week because the 100-week was above where we already were. Now, we talked about it's this transition from holding that 100-week moving average as support to holding the 20-week moving average as support. So while the exact layout of the moving averages is different, you can see that here we're holding the 100-week as support, and then now we've popped above the 20-week. Now the question is how do we know we're in a bull run? We don't know yet because until we actually hold support on the 20-week, like we did extensively throughout 2016 and 2017, we can't really say that the bull market has in fact started. At least this is my opinion. Clearly it's somewhat subjective, but this is just how I understand the bull market for Bitcoin. Now, if you actually take a measured move, once Bitcoin last time got above the 20-week moving average, you can see that it actually took a while to test it as support again. It took about almost 4 months before we tested the 20-week as support. If we were to do the same thing again, sorry about that. So if we were to come over to the present day and say, well, where would that put us? Where might we test it again? If it were at all similar to last time, then it would put us out in May, which, as many of you know, this corresponds to the halving. One possibility is that if you look back last time, we actually did see a drop in price going into the halving, and we continued to hold that 20-week as support. So it makes me wonder if something similar is going to happen. Are we ultimately going to cross over this halving date and ultimately find that 20-week moving average as support for several months, and then confirm that the bull market has in fact started? So it's going to take time. I mean, it might be another 4 months before we even test the 20-week as support, and then we might hold the 20-week as support for another, let's say, another 4 months, if history is any indication. Now, clearly, things could play out differently. We're just giving an idea of what happened last time. So, if something similar happened this time, then you basically just take where we currently are, and then or take where we would be in 4 week or 4 months, and draw out another 16 weeks or so, and it would put us in August of 2020. So, potentially the point here is that if we really want to say the bull market has started, we can't just be above the 20-week. We have to hold it as support for an extended period of time. And you can see when we tried to hold it last time, it did not hold. Similar to the last market cycle, the first time we tried to hold it as support, it did not hold. So we're going to keep an eye on this. If I don't make a video and the price drops, just keep an eye on that 20-week moving average and see if we can close our weekly candles above it. If the weekly candles can stay above the 20-week moving average, then we're going to be providing more and more evidence that the bull market has in fact started. So the evidence is not there yet to say that it occurred. We held the 100-week. Now we're above the 20-week. So it's definitely, I'm more optimistic than pessimistic. But just keep your eyes on these longer term pictures. Keep your eye on the fact that the 20-week moving average it looks like it's changing its slope here, and it's going to start moving upwards. So at some point we are going to test it, and it's going to be the moment where we say, all right, has the bull market started? Are we going to hold this as support for a few months, or are we going to kick the can down the road and test it again at a different price point? So you can see that the last time we tested it was around $10,000, and we were not strong enough to hold it. Currently, the 20-week is around 8,300. So if price were to drop to 8,300, at least we would hope to hold support on that level. So I hope you guys like this content. I usually post videos of more of these custom-made charts that I do, but I do like to also show these just fundamental shifts in the market by looking at simple moving averages. I think it's fairly useful to look at things in terms of that, and I also think that just taking the price out and looking at just the moving averages can also be quite informative. So it kind of has a way of just reducing all that noise, and just you forget about the day-to-day stuff. You don't worry about up 10% one day, down 10% the next, or up 30%, down 5%. We're just looking at these longer term moves in the market, and seeing them for what they are, and recognizing that the short-term moves are often irrational, but price has a way of operating around the 20-week moving average, the 100-week moving average, and the 200-week moving average. Now, I know there's a lot of other moving averages that people are going to be screaming at their computer and saying, why am I not talking about those? Again, we're just looking at long-term shifts in the market. So the 20-week, the 100-week, and the 200-week, I feel like are pretty useful in identifying these macro level moves. So I hope you guys like this content. If you want to dive in further and check out more of the content that I make, check out patreon.com/intothecryptoverse. We're going to be launching Ethereum letters in about a week or so, which is going to be an extensive report on Ethereum. So if you were holding Ethereum, I think some of you might find that useful. We also launched Bitcoin letters last month, so go check that out. That's actually you can download that for free at intothecryptoverse.com. It's a 21-page report on Bitcoin, and it goes all through macro level analysis of Bitcoin, all sorts of stuff. I think you guys will like it if you haven't seen it yet. So that'll wrap it up for this video, guys. Until next time, bye.